Hello everyone, my name is Joseph and welcome back to the Popsicle Night channel. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX League Battle Deck with the release date of July 22nd, 2022. And it retails for $29.99. Is this worth buying? Speaking of value, this is definitely a good buy. It's a very strong build out of the box, and this is true even on a competitive level. So let's take a quick glance at what you get from this product. The Pokémon TCG Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX League Battle Deck includes a full playable 60 card deck loaded with power cards, 3 foil cards featuring Shadow Rider Calyrex V, 3 foil cards featuring Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, 1 deck box, 2 coin condition markers, 6 damage counter dice, and 1 competition legal coin flip die, 1 Pokémon TCG rulebook, 1 quick guide to unlock the strategies within, and a code card. Now let's briefly look at each card, and along the way we'll go through the basics on how to pilot this deck. Starting with 3 copies of Shadow Rider Calyrex V, it has 210 HP with 2 retreat cost, minus 30 resistance to fighting, and is weak to dark. It has 2 attacks. The first one is Shadow Mist. For 1 psychic energy, it deals 10 damage. However, it also has an effect against your opponent that will prevent them from playing any stadium or special energy from their hand. And its second attack is Astral Barrage. For 3 colorless energy, you choose 2 of your opponent's Pokemon, and then you put 5 damage counters on each of them. This attack is actually really great for sniping weaker Pokemon on your opponent's bench, and since this is considered as an effect and not an attack damage, Manaphy will not be able to block this attack. And this card can be very disruptive as a standalone, even early game, especially if your opponent relies heavily on special energy. This deck also comes with 3 copies of its VMAX form, Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. It has 320 HP with 2 retreat cost, minus 30 resistance to fighting, and is weak to dark. This one has a powerful ability, Underworld Door. Once per turn, you may attach a psychic energy from your hand to one of your bench psychic Pokemon, and if you do, you also get to draw 2 cards. Not only is this ability great for accelerating energy, it's also great for drawing extra cards, thus increasing consistency of this deck. It only has 1 attack, Max Geist. For 3 colorless energy, this attack deals 10 plus damage. However, this attack does 30 more damage for each psychic energy attached to all of your Pokemon together. Thanks to its ability, you can spread energies by attaching them to all of your Pokemon, and with enough energy in play, this attack can become so powerful that it can potentially one-hit knockout any Pokemon in the game. One downside to this strategy is the slow progression of energy attachment, so your goal early game should be to typically set up as many Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX as you can, so you can accelerate a lot of energies every turn. But thankfully, we're not just relying on Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX alone to accelerate their energies. This deck also comes with 3 copies of Cresselia. This one has the attack Crescent Glow. For just 1 psychic energy, you can search your deck for 1 psychic energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon. However, if you go second and it is your first turn, you can accelerate 3 psychic energies to one of your Pokemon instead. So ideally, you would want to go second with this build. You can also attack with Cresselia with its attack Photon Laser. For 2 psychic energies, it deals 30 plus damage. However, if you have at least 5 energies in play, this attack will deal 120 damage instead, which is pretty decent damage output for a single prizer. Next up, this deck also comes with 2 copies of Galarian Articuno. It has the ability Cruel Charge. If you play it from your hand to the bench, you may choose to attach up to 2 psychic energy from your hand onto it. This is really great for accelerating extra energies into play, which helps increase Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX's attack. And Galarian Articuno is also great for sniping your opponent's bench. It has the attack Psylaser. For 2 psychic and 1 colorless energy, you discard all energy from this Pokemon, and this attack deals 120 damage to any one of your opponent's Pokemon. You can possibly finish off a Pokemon that Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX has already weakened, or vice versa. And since you have to discard energy with Galarian Articuno, there are a few recovery cards you can use. First off, there are 3 copies of Training Court Stadium in this deck. Once per turn, you can get 1 energy from the discard pile and put it into your hand. And there's also 1 copy of Ordinary Rod, so you can recover up to 2 Pokemon and or up to 2 basic energy from the discard pile back to the deck. Searching for your Pokemon in your deck is fairly simple. This deck comes with 4 copies of Quick Ball, 4 Evolution Incense, 2 copies of Great Ball, and there are also 4 copies of Fog Crystal. This one allows you to search your deck for 1 basic Psychic type Pokemon or 1 basic energy from your deck. Since Shadow Rider Calyrex has 2 retreat costs, there is a problem of being stuck in the active spot while not being able to attack if you don't have sufficient energy. So to help switch it out, there's 2 copies of Switch and also 2 copies of Air Balloons in this deck to lower your Pokemon's retreat cost by 2. One other challenge is if your opponent uses Path to the Peak Stadium, which shuts off abilities of all Rulebox Pokemon in play. And since Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX relies heavily on its ability, we have to counter that Stadium. To do that, you can just replace it with your own stadium using Training Court. You can also use the one copy of Pumpkaboo in this deck. It has the ability Pumpkin Pit. If you play it from your hand to the bench, you can remove a stadium in play. But keep in mind that this deck does not use scoop up nets, so you will only be able to use this ability once, unless it is knocked out and you just get it back to your deck using Ordinary Rod. For consistency, we have a full set of Professor's Research and a full set of Marnie. And to help you target a specific Pokemon, we also have 3 copies of Boss's Orders. And finally, this deck also comes with 15 copies of basic Psychic Energies. Out of the box, I think this build is really good. Consistency is great thanks to the Underworld Door ability, although it is a bit slow to set up in my opinion. However, you have that potential to one-hit knock out any Pokemon in the game. And also, just be aware of losing 3 prizes when they knock out your Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And that's pretty much it. You can find the complete deck list in the description below. Now please enjoy the following gameplay videos showcasing the Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX League Battle deck. Alright, so let's get right into our first match. We are going to try out this Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX League Battle deck, unmodified, in the online tournaments on PTCGO. See how well we do. Looks like we're going against a Fusion Strike deck, but we're not off to a good start, guys. We have Pumpkaboo in the active spot. You only use that to get rid of stadiums like Path to the Peak, so this is really bad. We have 2 quick balls though, which is really good. Let me get rid of this, so we can start with Shadow Rider Calyrex V, and then just put an energy, I guess. Might as well use Fog Crystal to get another Shadow Rider Calyrex V. We only have 2, so we have 1 prized, which is not good, because usually you want to set up all 3 so that you can accelerate energies as fast as possible. But don't underestimate Shadow Rider Calyrex V, because it has an attack that deals minimal damage, but it can prevent your opponent from attaching any special energies from their hand or from using any stadium. They can't put it into play. So I think what I'm gonna try and do here, actually, if they don't set up here, we might be able to disrupt my opponent and prevent them from attaching any energies on their Mew, because for the most part, a lot of the Mew VMAX builds right now rely on special energies, double turbo energy, fusion strike energies. So we can just use Shadow Rider Calyrex V to maybe stall as much as we can, and then along the way just build up as much energy as we can. So they have 3 Mew Vs available, and they also have 2 Genesect V in play. Cramomatic, of course. If they have successful coin flip, they can search for any 1 card from their deck. They are just gonna pass and end it there, which is really good for us, actually. So let me switch into my Shadow Rider Calyrex V. We can discard 1 Marnie, and then I'll just get a Cresselia, and then you could just Marnie their entire hand, I guess. Okay, use this Evolution Incense to at least evolve 1 into a Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, bump out their stadium. You can attach 1 energy to, let me put it on the V, I guess. Underworld Door to accelerate this 1 energy. And we have Great Ball. We didn't find any Pokemon. We can use our Training Court Stadium to recover 1 energy, and we're just gonna attack. And because of this Oricorio, that 20 base damage of Shadow Rider Calyrex V is negated. We are dealing 0 damage, but the effect of the attack is in effect. Even if they switch out their active, even if they switch out our active, that effect remains on our opponent. So they can't attach any special energies. They can't put any stadium into play. So our stadium will stick. Even if they boss one of our Pokemon, they can't energize any of their Pokemon with any special energies. Bro, what if my opponent doesn't use any basic energies? That would be insane. We could just win this game and not allow our opponent to attack at all because they can't attach a special energy. One way out of this though is if they use that one supporter that can accelerate Fusion Strike energies to their Fusion Strike Pokemon. But we're just gonna hard retreat our VMAX, reattach one energy using Underworld Door, and we're just gonna Shadow Mist, continually disabling our opponent from attaching any special energies, and again, from playing any stadium. So we can just continue to build our energy at this point, and then we can even one-hit knockout their Mew VMAX, actually. They have Avery, but that's alright. We only have 3 Pokemon on our bench, and even if they use it, we could just discard Pumpkaboo, I think. And the greatest weakness to this build that I have, Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, is Path to the Peak, for sure. Because you can't use the Underworld Door ability. But you can still accelerate energy using Galarian Articuno. But as it is, it's pretty powerful. You can accelerate energy and then draw 2 cards with our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Let's use Great Ball. We still don't get anything. Shadow Mist, again, dealing no damage, but we're disabling our opponent. Bro, if my opponent doesn't have any basic energies to attach, they could just deck out. This is a pretty insane matchup, guys. What a way to showcase Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, huh? Well, you know what? This just fully showcases, I guess, Shadow Rider Calyrex V by itself. Even if you don't evolve into a VMAX, look at how well we're doing. I'm just going to continue to retreat because we can just continue to recover those energies with our Training Court Stadium. Underworld Door. Keep accelerating. Draw 2 cards. Shadow Mist. And on with the game. Right? So I'm taking the safe way out, guys. We could become a little bit more aggressive, but if we win this game, and this is, mind you, this is a tournament online, so I don't want to waste my tickets, okay? If I can win this way, I'm gonna take it. Cramomatic, they're trying to get their way out of this one. But since they already used their support card, they're not going to be able to use anymore. Okay. Cross Switcher. But we have a switch, so it doesn't really matter. We can even use Training Court Stadium to get this energy and just still hard retreat. Right? And let me put... I mean, I could just trap their Genesect V in the active. Yeah. And it's going to be a lot harder for them to retreat even. Shadow Mist. So not only can they not use the stadium, they can't attach any special energy. Now they have to get this Genesect V out of the active spot. This is such an evil, evil strategy. So one way or another, either your opponent's getting bored with this matchup, or they just don't see any way out of it, and they can just concede, right? Attach this energy again, retreat, Shadow Mist, and we can just go on forever, guys. Until the time runs out, because they can continue to use their boss. It's not unlimited, their boss. We have Training Court Stadium. Okay, well, if they have Celine, then they can continually recycle those boss's orders, I guess. And if they have enough Palpad, they could just recycle those Celines back to the deck. But either way, we're just gonna do our thing, right? Underworld Door. I wish I could showcase the fast acceleration, but we're not getting any energies, even though we're drawing a lot of cards, which is pretty interesting. So with 3 energies on our Shadow Rider Calyrex V, we can even attack with it if we need to when we evolve into a VMAX. But as of right now, our disruption strategy is working pretty well. Just put Air Balloon, Retreat, and then Shadow Mist again. Yep, we're gonna win this, guys. So Air Balloon is very important because Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX has 2 retreat costs. If you're not fully energized, you can't retreat it, and you don't have enough energies, you can't get out of the active spot, and that could be your downfall. That's why this deck has a lot of switch, Air Balloon, things like that to get out of the active spot, but doesn't matter. Good game. All right, let's move on to our next match. That last game was I don't know. Let me know in the comments below, guys. How would you describe that matchup? So my opponent just gave up, seeing that he had no way out of that situation. They couldn't accelerate any energies, and that's why Mew VMAX, I think you need basic energies, and you need that to recover those energies anyways from the discard pile. So relying only on special energies might not be a good idea. But this time around we are going second, and ideally you do want to go second, depending on your matchup though. That's what I'd like to say, because Cresselia has an attack that can help you accelerate 3 energies to your Pokemon, to one of your Pokemon. So ideally you want to set up your Shadow Rider Calyrex V, and since you're going second, you can accelerate 3 psychic energies onto your Shadow Rider Calyrex V, right? So I'm just gonna get another one, and again, you do want to set up as much Shadow Rider as you can as soon as possible, because the sooner you can evolve them, you can use its ability to accelerate more energies, draw more cards, and the more you're going to be able to one-hit knockout even VMAXs in the game. So that's the whole strategy. You just get as much energies into play and hit as hard as you can. So we're going up against Flying Pikachu VMAX build, or it could be just a V, could be a troll deck, but let's see. We have access to 1 Shadow Rider Calyrex V. We have Professor's Research. We can set up our 3rd Shadow Rider Calyrex V. Now we can start using Underworld Door ability. Use Great Ball. We don't find anything. I feel like this Great Ball is such a useless part of this deck. I feel like you can replace that, easily replace that with a Choice Bell or something to make this deck even better. So as it is, let me just laser this guy. 120. Not gonna knock it out, but gonna put a big dent on it. So even if they evolve into a VMAX, we can just knock it out with our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And they don't have enough energy on it anyway, so it's not going to be attacking just yet. And there's no way for them to accelerate an energy either. They're not using Flaffy or anything like that, so they just decided to retreat into their Zapdos. There's the Flying Pikachu VMAX, which is ineffective against our deck either, because that Flying Pikachu VMAX prevents damage from attacks from basic Pokemons. But since we're using Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, it's not gonna be too effective. Okay. We need to find a more evolution for our other Shadow Rider, but we're just gonna take a free knockout against their Zapdos. It's gonna get us one prize. We get a Galarian Articuno. So Galarian Articuno is pretty good to accelerate energies real quick. So when you put it in the bench, you can accelerate 2 psychic energies onto it. But what I've been finding out with this League Battle deck is that, I don't know, maybe it's just the RNG on PTCGO, but if you don't have energies on in your hand, it doesn't help out as much. But if you need extra energies really quickly so that you can attack for more damage with Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, Galarian Articuno can be very good. But Underworld Door does its thing though, that's the only thing. It's just such a powerful ability that sometimes you don't even need to use Articuno. It's kind of like a backup to get more energies onto your Pokemon real quick. So I could just use Max Geist, knocking out their Flying Pikachu VMAX for a total of 340 damage. So that gets us 3 prizes. And now we can form all 3 of our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And some players play this game, or this deck, not the League Battle deck, but Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, with 4 of them. For a 4/4 line of Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And basically, what they try to do is tank a hit, switch into another Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, and their opponent doesn't get any prizes because they can't knock one out. So they're going for that paralysis with that, but we're just gonna target their Flying Pikachu V. And we're just gonna continue to energize this one. So at least all of our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX will have full energies to attack. And then we're just gonna max guys for another 2 prizes, knocking out their Flying Pikachu VMAX for the win. Alright, let's get right into our next match. Okay, we have 2 basic Pokemons available. We have Cresselia and Galarian Articuno. So our Galarian Articuno stays in your hand because that's gonna help you accelerate energies. Looks like we're going up against another Mew VMAX build. And I'm noticing a lot of Selines in Mew VMAX. So sure enough, it is what we're going up against. Okay, we can use Fog Crystal, get an energy. We also have Quick Ball, get rid of that. Get Shadow Rider Calyrex V. We can just get that energy back using our Training Court Stadium. And just get another energy with this one. Attach that to Shadow Rider Calyrex V. And then just go from there. Alright. So my opponent's gonna go second. So Mew VMAX has the potential to deal a lot of damage on their first turn. Right? So if they attach a Fusion Strike energy, and then use Alessa Sparkle, if they have Meloetta, they can deal a lot of damage. But they're just gonna boss. Okay, they're just stalling. Dude, can we win this just like we did the first time? I mean, we could try. If my opponent's deck is heavy on special energies, we could just trap them, and then we're just gonna build up our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Yeah, let's go for it. Let's go with Shadow Mist. And win this whole tournament just because of Shadow Mist. This is pretty crazy, guys. They can't even... They couldn't even draw. Evolve into Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. Can draw 2 extra cards while accelerating 1 energy to our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And now it's fully energized. We can just continue to use Shadow Mist and go from there. See what my opponent can do. They can evolve into Mew VMAX. They can get more Pokemon from their deck. They can draw extra cards with their Genesect V. But what they cannot do is use any Stadium or attach any special energies on their Pokemon. So depending on how heavy special energies are... Avery, okay. See, the one way around it is Alessa Sparkle. If they can use Alessa Sparkle, they can accelerate those Fusion Strike energies. I'm just gonna Marnie. Okay, Cresselia's a pretty good attacker. Get another Shadow Rider Calyrex V. Underworld Door. We're gonna continue to accelerate energies to the one on the bench. Shadow Mist again, and we're slowly chipping away at their Mew V in the active spot. And as long as we can get enough momentum, I can just knock it out at some point. Okay, Oricorio, that's going to reduce damage. So now Shadow Mist is not going to deal any more damage to their Mew V. Okay, it's our turn again. Alright, cool. So, okay, I think this is the best counter to Mew VMAX build, guys. Shadow Rider Calyrex V. But I'm not saying that all Mew VMAX builds are heavy on special energies, okay? There are players that use basic energies. But against this matchup, it seems like we're doing good just by disrupting their hand. We can win this one by boring our opponents, and I hope you guys are not getting bored with this too, but hey, if you can win this way, why not? And that's the key. If you're in a tournament, right? What are you gonna do? Oh, I don't want to get bored, or I don't want my opponent to get bored. But if you can win the game just by using this, wouldn't you do it? It's gonna get you closer to getting that prize, which I feel like we are going to get that prize, guys. They're just gonna keep passing. All right. We can evolve into another Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And slowly but surely, we are building up energies, right? And the closer we are to dealing a one-hit knockout against their Pokemon. So even if we can get or target a Mew VMAX, that's 3 prizes. Easy, right? Just like that. And if my opponent's not using Meloetta, there's no way that they can one-hit knock out our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX either. One thing about this deck, though, is that it actually is very minimal on Pokemon. You only have the 3/3 line of Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, a bunch of Cresselia, and then Galarian Articuno. That's it. But yeah, they're trying to stall or trap us in the active, but we have Switch. We have access to Air Balloon too, so... As long as we can accelerate enough energies, we should be good. Because we have Boss's Order already. We can just target one of their Mew, and then go from there. And that's all I'm trying to do. I think I can change this up. I don't have to just win this by decking out my opponent. I can start attacking, but I need those energies. And that's what I mean with this League Battle deck. You see how much cards we have in our hand already? But so far we have, although we have been attaching those energies constantly every turn, but that's what I mean with Galarian Articuno. I don't think, or you'll probably seldom use it unless there's an emergency to attach as much energies in onto your Pokemon. But other than that, you're probably not gonna use Articuno, because as it is like this, you're using Underworld Door to attach those energies, and you don't have energies to attach when you use Galarian Articuno. Let's go ahead and get another energy from our deck. And I could attach and just get a knockout here. I have a boss's order that's evolved into VMAX finally. Get another energy, which is pretty awesome. So with enough energy, can get a knockout. But it's pretty smart on my opponent here, because they didn't evolve into a Mew VMAX. And I'm pretty sure they were anticipating that at some point we were gonna just knock out their Mew VMAX. So without them evolving, that prevents them, or prevents us from getting 3 prizes that easy. So could increase my damage output even further, and I think I'm just gonna Marnie. With so many cards on their hand, that could prevent them from getting the cards they need to set up a Mew VMAX even. So I could knock out this Oricorio. It's gonna prevent them from increasing their defense, and we get a prize for that. And then all we have to do is just probably target their Genesect or even their Mew VMAX or their Mew V. So if they will evolve into VMAX at some point in this matchup. So I'm just changing it up. I'm not going to use Shadow Mist for the rest of this game, because it's going to be boring if we do that, right? But if you've made it this far, guys, I really appreciate it. But this just goes to show how powerful Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX can be. Not only can you deal so much damage, you can also have this disruption option against decks that have special energies. Although against the Regigigas, it's not gonna be easy, because Regigigas accelerate energy from the discard pile. It's not dependent on how many energies are attached from your opponent's hand to their Pokemon. So it's not gonna work against Regigigas. So just watch out for that. And Regigigas hits for a lot of damage, and they only lose 1 card or 1 prize card when you knock one out. So power tablets are coming out. Will they be able to knock out our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX is the question. Will they get enough power tablets? So with 4 power tablets, 3, 6, 9, 12, 120 damage. That's 210 damage for Genesect V's attack. So they can hit as much as 330 base damage. Or not base, 330 damage. And with the Choice Belt, that's 360 damage total. So yeah, they can knock out our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX easily. And with a knockout, that's actually reducing our damage output, because that means less energies in play. So they're going to target our 4 energy Shadow Rider, which is a pretty good move. 340 damage. So they still knock out our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX, even with the double turbo energy, reducing their attack. So we're just going to switch into our other Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. I think we can build enough momentum here to attach energies to knock out this Mew VMAX, but either way, we can still get... We have Boss's Order. I think we can just target the other Mew VMAX on their bench. It's going to be a lot easier for us to knock it out. And with all of the power tablets used up, there's no way that my opponent can one-hit knockout our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. So with the air balloon, I can just switch into this guy. Underworld Door, so I can attach that to the other Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And with 9 energies in play, let's get these 2 back to the deck with the Ordinary Rod. Get 2 more energies back to the deck, and then yeah, we should be hitting for enough damage to knock out their Mew VMAX. 3, 6, 9, 12, 240 plus base, right? Plus 10, 280, 40, 50, 67, 280. Yeah, we can knock it out. Thankfully, there's that initial damage counters on it already. We can actually get a knockout here, even though we're only dealing 270 damage, which is pretty insane. Got Galarian Articuno. And set up another Calyrex V. Yeah, Max Geist. There it is. 280 damage. That was pretty close, man. Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten a knockout. If it wasn't for that initial damage on Mew VMAX. Okay, so with 3 prizes added to our hand, they're going to switch into their Mew V. There's no way they can knock out our Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. They can knock out our V. That's only going to get them 2 prizes. But all of their power tablets are already in the discard pile. And all we need are 2 prizes. We have 2 bosses in our hand. We pretty much win this game already. They can knock out our Cresselia. That's going to reduce 1 energy. They can knock out our Shadow Rider Calyrex V. That's going to get them 2 prizes, but still won't win them the game. But with no attack modifiers, my opponent will not be able to get a knockout here. And all we need... Echoing Horn? Okay. Okay. I think they're just emptying out their hand as much as they can so they can draw more cards with their Genesect V. Okay, Roxanne. Alright, well, that's going to remove my boss. That's going to remove my boss. Roxanne is so useless. So we can just use Marnie, we can just use Professor's Research, draw into more cards, maybe more energies, more energy attachment, more attack damage output, 1-hit knockout, even their Mew VMAX. Because at this point, we're hitting for 280 damage. All we need is 1 or 2 more Psychic Energies attached to our Pokemon. That's going to 1-hit knockout any of their Pokemon in play. So they're just going to attack with their Mew VMAX. Techno Blast for 220 damage. But we just have to make sure that we have enough energies attached to all of our Pokemon. And there it is, guys. There it is. Let's see how much damage we can deal here. Underworld Door. We're just going to attach as much as we can. There's the scoop. Wow. Good game. Good game. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please don't forget to smash the like button for me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching the Popsicle Night channel. And as always, stay safe and have a great day.